So,
Cool.
welcome to the Awake with Jake show, Lily. I'm sure the
Thank you.
audience is just dying to know a little bit about you, and then we're going to dig right in here and see what shows up.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Cool. Well, yes, I'm Lily. Thanks for introducing. I'm from New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand. Um, I feel like this question's always tough. Tell me a bit about you. Um, I am a counselor, a mindfulness well-being counselor, which I absolutely love. I've been doing that for a couple of years now. Um, has its moments. Being an empath, I find it pretty difficult sometimes to be dealing with such such high intensity stuff quite a lot, but I'm learning. I'm getting there as I have my experience. Um, but yeah, look, I really just feel so humbled to be here, and I've been following your work for ages, utilizing it like in my own life, but also in my life with clients, which is just so, the change is evident in how profound the work is, I guess. Um,
Thank you. I
but the
appreciate that.
reason, no, it's true, it's true. But yeah, I guess the reason why I kind of wanted to reach out is because even though I'm doing so much work and like helping other people and seeing profound changes in their life, I feel like there's just some sort of blockage or just something that's not allowing me to just fully be, just be happy and um, yeah, I think I deserve it. So I'm really open to just trying anything at this point. Yeah, because this is not usually something I would do.
Well,
So
it
yeah.
definitely takes a brave soul to do any type of work on themselves and more specifically within themselves because our ego naturally wants to fight against being seen, right? And doesn't want to be vulnerable because we look weak and if
hmm
we expose our pain. So, what is it that you feel within your own intuitive feeling that
Mm.
is really blocking you from feeling what you deeply yearn for?
I think for me a huge trigger is definitely my relationship. Um, I think, and this is I've had relationships before, and this is something that they've all said to me is that I have extremely high expectations on them, and I expect all of these things from them. It's almost like I have it planned out in my head that this is what they should do to make me happy. And I agree that we should all have high expectations. I agree that we should know our worth and that we should, you know, get what we deserve in that sense. But I can see that that's a pattern for me that I really, yeah, expect my partner to do. I don't know, way too much, and I want my mindset to change more to we're a team and we should be working on things together, and he should have his own life and I should have my own life, and I shouldn't have to like need to lean into him all the time for all of my stuff. I should be able to be, I guess, independent on my own and um not need him to make me happy or have these expectations on him to make me happy. I want to be happy and whole without, if he doesn't remember to get me a like card for our anniversary, like that shouldn't make me feel, I should just feel like, oh yeah, well, I mean, I would have liked one, and let him know like I have the expectation I would have liked one, but I don't think that it should send me into like a spiral of feeling really low.
Let me ask you
Um,
this.
mhm.
Who had high expectations of you early on in life? And no matter what you did was never good enough.
Hmm. I think I think just in general, like being the oldest sibling, I always had that. I don't think I felt like it wasn't good enough, but I did feel like this huge sense of responsibility on me. And I almost feel like the answer to that question is me. I've always been like, you're not good enough. You're not doing enough. Um,
Did you learn
so
that from
even if I had,
somewhere?
yeah, probably my mum a little bit. I guess like because my parents split up when I was about 11, and it understandably really affected my mum because we'd just moved up to Auckland from Wellington, which is like the whole North Island apart, and we had no family up here. And then my dad basically just decided to leave as soon as he'd moved me, my two brothers, and my mum up here. And yeah, my mum, she just wasn't in a good place. And I really felt the responsibility. Like, I'm the oldest here. I have to step in. I have to help mum. I have to help my brothers. Um, so yeah, I think that's the first thing that comes to mind anyway when I think about having high expectations. It
So
was
you're
very
the
much
one
on
that's
myself.
so you're the one that's always had to have it together. And
Yeah,
you're the one that
definitely.
carries the weight of the world on your shoulders. And do you see how that's
Yeah.
causing you pain in your life right now? Because even in this moment, I can feel that you so badly just want to just crack open and be held. But there's a part of you that's saying, you can't do that. You can't do that because you're the strong one. You've always got to have it together.
Mm, totally. 100%. Yeah, and I honestly like yearn for nothing more than to just fully, I guess, trust another person other than myself with my own, yeah,
Do you trust yourself?
happiness. Yeah, I do. I'm. It's quite a new thing for me, I think, but I'm just so proud of how much healing that I've done. I've, yeah, compared to where I look back to like 2 or 3 years ago, it's just like, wow, Lily, you've done so well. And I think, yeah, I think I've come so far. Like, say, for example, 2 years ago, if I was crying like this in front of someone, I would be like apologizing, like, sorry, 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 or just it wouldn't happen at all. So that is evidence for me that I know come, I've come, at least some way. And that just makes me, yeah, I just feel pride. I feel proud that I have, and there's proof. That's proof is that we can heal and we can join that path to becoming who we really should be. And I feel like I'm on that path, but there's still more to go.
But the question is, do you feel like you believe what you're saying right now, that it really is enough, that you feel enough in this moment? Because yes, you've done this work and you've done an amazing job and you should be proud of
Mm,
yourself. But then there's this part of you because you're the one that always has it together. I can feel that within you. Like you're the strong one. People look to you for advice. It's probably happened within your family and maybe even is happening in your relationship right now. You're like the rock for everyone else, right?
yeah, I always have been. Yeah.
And there's a part of you, a template within you that wants so badly to just feel deeper. But in order to feel deeper, to feel that yearning of your heart, you have to work through that part of yourself that wants to hold it all together. Because it's kind of like a dam, right? Where sometimes the dam gets so flooded it breaks wide open. And sometimes our dam needs to break wide open in order for us to find that really deep healing.
Mm,
And if we allow it, if we're vulnerable enough, then we can experience true healing. What do you feel
yeah.
like you're afraid of in this moment? What's the fear that I feel? Because you have incredible strength, but you develop that, I feel, as almost a mask of protection to protect whatever you're hiding and holding on to. Because there's something deep
Mm,
inside of you, maybe something you've never even exposed or shared with anyone, but there's something there, like a residue of something that I can feel a vibration behind it
mm,
that wants to come up. and wants to be released realistically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I think my fear is that if I show that I'm weak, I don't really care what anybody else thinks about me. I don't care if someone watching this is like, she's crying, like pathetic. I care more about what my reaction to it is. So if I'm not strong and I'm the only one that can 100% rely on myself, then who can I lean on? You know, I can only lean on myself and be 100% sure that,
Well,
yeah.
in this moment, we're gonna play a game. It's called let down everything you're holding on to and allow me to hold it for you. Allow me to be that support for you in this moment. And if you allow
Okay.
that and you give up that tight grip that you got to that control, that little bit
Mm,
of control that you have, and you let that go, you free up that space within yourself. And you're just going to soften into that space. Because a lot of people listening, especially right now, they're guarded because of past pain. And we've all experienced that. We've all experienced developing a guard because we've been hurt in our lives.
mm,
And yes, you are incredibly strong. Yes, you've done an amazing amount of healing work on yourself, but that guard is still there. That guard
mm,
is still right there, and I can see it, I can feel it. So, in this moment, what we're going to do is we're going to drop that guard and we're going to walk into that pain together. So, I want you to close your eyes. And for everyone listening right now, if you want to do this exercise with us or just hold space for Lily as we go through this, and what I want you to do is just breathe gently into your body. With each soft breath, just softening your shoulders, softening the muscles in your neck, tension in your chest, and just really being with yourself in this moment. And as a reminder, you don't need to have it all figured out right now. Allow yourself to be held in this moment. And as you sit with this, as you feel into it, don't fight the emotions that want to come up. Just continue to gently breathe and softening into your body, giving yourself permission to feel, giving yourself permission to let go. Just breathing into that space. And there's an energy that's here with you in this moment, an energy that's very present, but this energy kind of colors parts of your life from experiencing the fullness of the love and the joy that you desire. And I want to explore that. I want to explore that here in this moment with you. Is there a pain that you've repressed deep down inside of you? Do you feel shame within yourself? Do you feel like you would be a burden if you were to express your full authentic self and allow someone else to support you? Is there someone that you're holding on to anger towards? And once you've identified the anger that you feel, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to speak out loud what you're feeling in this moment, what's coming up for you.
I feel angry that nobody's looked out for me. And I feel angry at myself that I can't, when people do offer me a hand or offer me help, I can't accept it because I just feel like it makes me weak and that I should just be able to figure it all out for myself.
And how does that feel in your body to always have to figure it out all yourself?
Exhausting.
Do you feel burned out?
Yeah, definitely.
Why are you afraid to let go?
I just don't think you can trust people 100%. How can I trust someone?
Lily, you are not a burden. You are a beautiful soul that has such amazing depth and a beautiful heart. And in order for people to see that, they want to be able to give you their love just the same way that you give everyone else love. Do you struggle with acceptance?
Yeah,
And what about yourself don't you accept?
I don't know. I feel I feel like anger is something that I don't accept in myself. It's never an emotion that I kind of allow myself to feel, and then when I do, it's just an angry outburst that's not coming from a place that I want it to.
And why are
I
you
don't
angry?
accept it. I just feel angry that I've been let down by so many people.
Who specifically?
I think my mum and dad both let me down. I mean, I feel like they let me down because I just feel like I've had to do so much. And even though, if I asked them for help, they would help me. I don't know how I would accept it.
Do you have a fear that if you allow someone to help you, then they're really going to see you look weak, maybe? see you looking
Mm.
vulnerable. Do you have a fear of being seen?
Yeah, I think I do.
And what are you afraid to be seen? What part of you doesn't want to be seen? What shadow part of yourself have you repressed that you don't want to be seen?
A part of me that needs help sometimes.
And what part of you needs help in this moment?
I think it's like the 11-year-old girl that just had to try figure it all out by herself. I think she's still there.
And what happened to that little girl at 11 years old that made her so afraid to ask for help with the betrayal and the lack of trust that she felt?
She just felt so scared and she had no idea what to do.
And what was
She
she
didn't know
afraid of?
anyone she could turn because she didn't have anyone to turn to. There was no one that could help.
So do you feel like a part of you has abandoned this little girl inside of you?
I think so.
When's the last
I
time
think
you
that
really
I
expressed what you desire? When's the last time you really communicated that fully with the fullness of your being? Or do you not express what you desire because you're afraid to be a burden because you don't want to accept that from anybody?
mm, yeah, yeah. I can't remember the last time that I mean, I know that I ask for things, but it doesn't feel like a authentic part of me asking for it at all. It feels like a demand.
If you were to let it go, what you're holding on to in this moment, what would you feel like?
I think I would feel really free, but it feels really scary to, or I can't exactly imagine how it would look like to let my walls down. Like my whole life, people have always just said to me, like, I look like a robot because I'm just so frozen. I'm always folding my arms, I'm always closed off. And I don't want to be like that. You know, I see these women and they're so expressive and they're just so free in who they are and they're not afraid. But I just wish I just would love to know how to just be that woman that I know that I am.
And in order to feel that, and in order to be that embodiment of this divine feminine energy that you speak of, you have to let down your masculine shield, this shield that you're carrying to protect your pain. You developed this when you were a little girl to protect yourself, and you're still holding on to it in this moment because you don't feel safe and you're rigid and you're tense, what you said, robotic like, because of the shield that you're carrying, protecting yourself, overguarding yourself. And what are you protecting yourself from? Being hurt again? But realistically, what you're
Mm.
doing is you're holding all of that pain and anger and sadness inside of yourself. So you're hurting yourself every single day, every single
Mhm.
moment because you're not free. So, what I want you to do now is open your eyes, coming back into this moment. What I want you to do is just soften your shoulders and just feel what it feels like to feel soft and sensual and open and reconnect to that place in yourself that is flow, that is free. Your feminine energy is a gift to this world, not a burden. Let me say that again. Your feminine energy is a gift to this world, not a burden. The love that lives within you will be so much more radiant when it is free. But right now, it's trapped, it's bottled up, it's walled off.
Mm.
It can't be let out to the world because you're holding so tightly onto it because you're afraid of it being seen. Well, what if they don't accept me? What if they reject me? And how does that feel to live like that, that restricted?
Not authentic at all. Feels like feels like there's this wonderful woman that's just being locked in a cage, and I'm the one that's caging her in there, and she shouldn't feel like that she has to hide away from the world anymore.
And if you were to let this wonderful woman come out to play, stop keeping her in this cage, what would that look like?
I wouldn't be afraid anymore. I wouldn't be afraid to be who I am. I wouldn't be afraid of people hurting me, because if they hurt me, I've still got myself at the end of the day.
What would be the first thing that she would say from a place of true authenticity, not giving a shit about what anyone thought, and just fully expressing her deepest heart desires and yearning? And I want you to be very honest with yourself right now, not from this masculine, logical place, but from
Mm.
this embodied feminine place.
I think I would tell my husband that I don't want to feel like I have to take charge of everything anymore. I just want to be able to like lean on him sometimes, and yeah, I struggle with that from from time to time. I struggle with that, and I need his support, his safety,
What's your
to
husband's name?
feel like I can. Ben.
Ben?
Ben.
I'm going to enroll as Ben in this moment. So I want you to say to me exactly what you need to express to Ben and share that from a place of your deepest heart yearning, not from your logic.
Mm. Ben, I really need you to start stepping up a little bit more. For me, it will really help me to come out of my shell. Um, if you help me to feel a little bit more safe in doing so, because right now it feels like I'm the one that has to look after all of us. I'm the one that has to take care of us in this marriage.
Lily,
And
Lily, you're thinking too much right now. I want to hold you. My masculine energy can take it. I want you to express fully what you really want without holding back.
I'm just so scared of hurting people.
You're not going to hurt anyone. You're only hurting yourself in this moment right now. The only thing you'll do moving forward from this point is help yourself. And I'm sure other people listening right now. Everyone is just waiting for you just to fully express what you really want. And maybe there's anger and sadness tied to that. And maybe that needs to come out as well. But the masculine energy can handle that in this moment because the masculine energy really loves you and wants to support you. But we can only support you at the level you allow us to support you. So let's try this again.
Yeah,
Fully open, fully expressed, no more holding back. What do you really desire?
I really desire the space to just fully be myself without having to worry about you or anyone else. I really desire, I truly, truly desire just to feel like I can flow, like I'm not being judged or I really need the support of a safe container to just be who I truly am. I want to let this woman out of the cage, but I can't.
You can't or you won't.
I won't because I don't feel safe to do it.
And what do you need in order to feel safe and supported from Ben to do so?
I need, I really need like a safe container to be able to do that because, and I don't know if this is me holding back and that I'm not receiving the energy that he's giving out because I don't know how, but at the moment it feels like I can't, it feels like it's not going to be a safe place for me to do that
Do you trust
because
his
I
masculine
feel like
energy?
I really want to.
So the answer would be no.
No, not at this point. No.
Okay. And normally, when a woman doesn't trust a man's masculine energy, there's two parts to that. It could be the man's masculine energy, or it could be her own masculine trauma that she holds on
Mm.
to, right? It feels like and sounds like your lack of trust for his masculine energy. Is that him or is that you? Or is it both?
My ego wants to say it's him, but I think it's me. I think it's me because, like I said, I've in every relationship that I've ever had, I've always had the same issue where I've like basically been asking all these things from the person, but it's never enough because then they give it to me and I'm like, no, no, that's still not enough. I need more, and that's
So
just,
you step up and take charge and you take on the masculine energy.
yeah,
And then
because I
essentially,
feel like they can't do it,
you almost reverse the polarity in the relationship because you emasculate him and he feels
which I know
emasculated
I do. And he's told me, I know I do that. So
because you have
I
a
just,
very strong masculine energy in this moment, right? You've developed this a lot over the years to protect yourself.
mm,
So, do you see how you've reversed the polarity within yourself because the feminine part of yourself is being put on the back burner and the masculine is being put on the forefront? And that's what you're leading
mm,
with. But what is your real core energy?
feminine for sure.
So, why do you lead with the masculine then?
Because I don't trust I don't trust it in other people when I should just trust that they can hold
So, you're
me.
basically saying that you lead with your masculine energy because you don't feel safe. and you're not allowing your feminine energy to be fully expressed
Mm.
because of the lack of trust that you have for masculine energy. So you're
Sounds
basically
about
saying
right.
that you're leading with your masculine pain.
It's a wound. It's not a not. It doesn't feel like authentic energy to me. It feels like a wound, like what you were saying. It's a defense mechanism that I'm trying to protect that wound. Yeah.
So in order to get what you desire, you have to start embracing more of that feminine side of yourself and flowing into that, stepping back, allowing him to step up.
Mhm. I need to give him the space to, and other people, my dad. I need to actually be like, yeah, you're allowed to. Even talking about it's like, but I need to just be like, you're allowed to, yeah, you're allowed to help me. You're allowed to go take my car to go get fixed. I don't have to do it by myself. If you offer to do it, I don't have to be that strong person who's like, I don't need anybody. I can do it myself
But if you
because it's
don't feel
hurting me.
worthy, then you won't receive it.
No, yeah,
So when your flower, the feminine flower is closed, it doesn't matter how conscious the masculine is, you're not going to receive the energy of the masculine.
that's honestly it. That's honestly it because, yeah, like I said, as much as I would like to say, oh, yeah, it's him, he's not enough, he's not doing enough. I know that it's
And don't
there,
get
but
don't
I'm
don't
not.
get it wrong because he has his work to do as well. We all do,
Oh
right?
gosh, yes, gosh, yeah, he's not perfect. Who is? But yeah, I can see that almost like now I'm seeing that I'm almost hindering his growth and becoming more conscious because I'm not, like you said, the polarity's not happening, the yin and yang's not happening because I'm putting a stop to it. Is what I'm realizing
If
now.
you want him to be the masculine in the relationship, you have to allow him to be the masculine in the relationship. If you
Yeah.
want yourself to be the feminine in the relationship, you have to allow yourself to be the feminine in the relationship. Or what's going to happen is you're going to force him to be in the feminine and you're going to be forced to be in the masculine, which is the reverse polarity. Is that what you want?
Gosh, no, that's definitely not what I want.
So do
Yeah,
you
and
see
I
how
know he
because
doesn't
you're
either.
leading, just tying this all together, because you're leading with your masculine pain, you're acting almost out of character. It's
Yeah.
unnatural for you to lead with so much masculine energy. Sure, you can do it. You can
Mm.
plan, you can organize, you can lead people, you can support all day long. But your deep yearning is to be in that soft feminine space, to be held by the
Mhm.
masculine, right?
Absolutely.
Are you afraid of being held by the masculine?
Yeah, I think I do have the fear. I feel like I can't really trust. That's definitely what comes up for me is that I just feel like I can't, like, yes, I could like let go, but can I then, will I be okay then?
And why
How
can't
will
you
I,
trust?
I think, yeah, I just haven't had, especially that experience that I'm talking about with dad. Dad, I thought everything was okay. I thought he would never leave. And then when he did, it was like, oh, we don't have anything now. Like our whole kind of livelihood relied on that. And then my mum, obviously wasn't good at all. So it felt like when he left, my whole world completely collapsed and changed.
So do you feel like because you
So,
felt abandoned by the masculine, you stepped
mm,
into the masculine role, and that's the
yeah,
role that you've continued to play out in your life and
yes,
now specifically in your intimate relationships?
yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And when do
Mm.
you think would be a good time to let go of this false role that you're playing?
today. Today, I would love to. I know it's not like a snap of the fingers thing, but I think even just having this realization that I have been blaming Ben a lot, thinking that he's not doing enough, but really that's only happening because I'm not letting him do enough. I'm not allowing him. I'm not giving him the room, the space, you know. As soon as he will try and offer anything, I'm just kind of like, no, don't worry, I can do it, you know?
It's almost like this. It's almost like the vision that I get when you're speaking. It's like you and Ben are on a boat together and you're both fishing and he's trying to fish and catch
So
food,
funny you say that because he's such a
provide.
fisherman.
Yeah, I don't know. I got this vision of him
That's the
fishing.
vision.
And it's like he wants to catch fish and he wants to provide for you and give to you, but you keep taking the rod out of his hand and you're like, give me the pole. And you just keep catching the fish. And it's
Mhm,
almost like you're like competing with his masculine energy. It's a push and pull thing.
mhm.
And it's
Yeah,
so frustrating to both of you because he's like, why can't I just be masculine in this relationship? Like I'm not, you're not really allowing him to feel the full strength of his masculine energy because you keep taking away the pole every time he tries to catch a fish.
yeah.
He wants to provide, he wants to protect, he wants to give to his woman. But in order for that to happen, Lily has to allow it.
Mm, yeah,
You take away his
that's it.
gift of giving every single time you step up and you take charge and you take the pull from him.
Mhm,
That's what's happening. You're stripping away his ability to be masculine in the relationship because of your own masculine pain that you carry for the lack of trust for masculine energy. You're like, well, I don't trust your masculine energy. So I'm just going to
mhm.
put mine right here. Here's my rod,
Yeah.
right?
Honestly, as soon as you said that example, all of these different examples just come to mind, like, how I said we're moving into a new place. He
Let
was
me do
wanting to
everything.
help out, and I'm like, "No, don't worry, I'll sort the electricity, I'll do all this," you know? And it's just like, "Why am I doing that?" He literally asked, "Let me help. I want to do more." And I said, "No, I'll take care of it," you
And
know?
then you're mad at him
So,
for not stepping into the masculine.
yeah, like I feel the resentment towards him, but he doesn't have the opportunity to do it, even if
So do me a
he is
favor in this
ready.
moment right now. Let your arms down
Sorry.
and open yourself. See how unconscious that is in your body?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
automatically, as soon as you start talking about
I've always
masculine
had it.
energy, you start guarding yourself.
Literally, I'm so
See,
bad for it.
no,
Yeah,
you're not so bad for it. That you're too hard on yourself. You're way too hard on yourself. Too hard on yourself.
I know.
You are totally safe in your feminine energy. The masculine energy in your life wants to support you, wants to protect you, wants to love you. And you want that too. So when you breathe into that space and you allow the masculine to step in, you're going to be so filled by it. And you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I haven't been doing this for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I see that. Like, I see that in the future. I know
You,
I'll get there.
there's nowhere to get. It's right here in this moment. It's right here now. It's not something that you go attain. It's already right here within you. Your feminine essence is right here within you, waiting for you to reach in, grab her hands, and pull her to the light. She's over there like, Lily, you see me? I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to play. Don't you see me? And you're like, no, not yet. I'm still in my masculine right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you are
So
safe
true.
to be in your feminine. She so badly wants to come out and dance and play and move. And when you do that, when you just flow through the room, like this is how I would describe the feminine woman. She just kind of flows through the room instead of like rigidly structured walking like a robot through the room. The masculine is just like woof, like right to you, like a magnet. And the next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God, this feels so nice to be. Now I have to figure it all out all the time. Like, whoa, his masculine energy is pretty good. He can take charge, he can make plans, he can lead. And not to
Yeah.
say that you can't do that because you absolutely can, and I'm sure you still will,
Mm,
but
mm.
allowing him to do that, allowing him to be in that masculine space.
Yeah.
Because as a masculine man
Yeah.
myself, something that I really like to do is to support my partner, Melissa. It feels good to me to give to her.
Yeah.
And when she
And I'm
denies me of that giving, it's almost like, oh, okay. My masculine energy
yeah.
wants to give.
Mm.
And it's hurtful to the
Yeah.
masculine when you don't receive. Of course, you shouldn't receive unconsciously. You should always filter it through your intuition and your discernment and say, well, this doesn't serve me or this does serve me. I can
Mm.
receive this. Like you don't just take whatever's thrown at you just because it's masculine energy, right?
Right. That wouldn't be too good. That wouldn't work out too well. Yeah. No, I mean, even just as you're talking, I just realized that he will be so much happier too, because I think, yeah, I really have deprived him without realizing, totally unconscious. And like you say, I don't want to be too hard on myself. I don't think it's my fault. I think that I do think he will be so much happier when I do give him that room, like allow him to be that masculine version of himself that he wants to be, but I'm not giving him any space to do it right
And the
now.
beautiful part about it too is you'll find that you guys are almost balancing each other out. When you're in your
Yeah.
feminine, he's in his masculine, you guys will have a nice flow. Like
Yeah.
the flower wants to receive the sun's rays. It wants
Mm,
to naturally. We are of nature. So when you allow yourself to receive his masculine consciousness, it feels good to you.
mm. Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. I think as soon as I kind of, you know, and as you say, today onwards, I just want to. I think the first time that I experience that will be like, oh, this is what I've been missing out on. I can allow this to happen and it feels good for me and him
And it's safe.
and it's safe. I don't need to be scared.
And if it's
Hey,
not safe
yeah.
and he's doing something that's unconscious, then you express that and you set a boundary with him.
Mm,
That just because you're in your feminine doesn't mean you're weak. You still have the ability to set boundaries.
yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't see. They think just because they're in their feminine, they're weak. So they go into this rigid masculine, guarded, shielded place. But you can be strong in your feminine too. And you can flow and you can dance and you can play and you can also have boundaries.
Mm,
Look at the ocean and how
yeah.
powerful the ocean is. The wrath of the ocean, if you were to get caught out there, you can feel how strong and powerful the ocean is. That flow, the current, the magnetism of the ocean. The feminine is the same way, and that lives within all of us. But if it gets bottled up and repressed, like what you're saying that you've done with the beautiful, wonderful woman inside of you, she gets pissed off. She's angry. She's like,
Mm,
"Hey, let me out to play. I want to dance.
yeah.
I want to feel. I want to feel sensual. I want to feel soft and in my body. I want to feel the love flowing through my heart." She yearns for all of that.
Yeah.
So it's a continuous practice to soften and open. And the next time that you find yourself wanting to step in and take that rigid masculine role, open. Soften in that moment. Allow yourself to receive and know that you are worthy and you are safe.
I will. I will. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. And I'm sure that the audience really loved this session. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for showing up the way that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for the space. Thank you to everyone listening. I do hope that you could hear through my tears. No, thank you so much, honestly, for holding the space and helping me to eventually get there to feel safe enough to be vulnerable. It's just, yeah, very, very grateful. Thank you.
And if people want to follow your journey and follow you, can they find
Mm.
you on Instagram? What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, I would love that. So I have a therapist page, which is all about helping other people heal, but also in my own healing journey. And that's at self.light.
At
So like
self.light.
self love, but self light. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you once again
Oh,
for
thank
coming on.
you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, honestly. You take care.